Hey guys, this is Cam for 15, joined by my Uncle Darrell, and we are here to discuss our week two recap stuff, as well as I'm guessing just to get out the way now, just week three predictions and stuff like that. So might as well just get it out the way in one big video. So yeah, we already talked about LAC versus KC. That was in the last video we did covering the NFL. If you wanted our thoughts on that, go check out that video. But yeah, that's kind of it. So this week's games, um, there were some of them were like legitimately like really interesting, but other games were kind of like, you kind of expected that. But I still think week one was better. Obviously it's the start of the NFL, but you still had some pretty damn good games this week, this
That's
past
true.
week.
Yeah, that's
Um, so yeah, now speaking about one of the crazy first games that ended up, I don't know. I was watching this game and then I'm like, okay, the Browns should have this. They score the touchdown. Nick Chubb scores the game win or scores the touchdown. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I change it up. I go to a different game. Next thing you know, I'm hearing the Jets freaking make a comeback and they're in the lead now.
oh,
And
what
I'm like,
happened is I texted you and told you the Jets just took the lead, and you're like, "Don't tell me nothing about that game just yet. Don't tell me nothing."
oh my God.
So
So,
I'm my word, and I mean the Jets was up. The Jets were down two TDs.
yeah.
Yeah, they were down two TDs. So I turned it off too. But I got these multiple screens going. That was just one of the games, and then that's when I saw. I was I don't just doesn't give me any kind of confidence moving forward with the Browns, man.
Yeah, that game, the way the Browns lost, it was a typical Cleveland Browns game of the century way to lose it. Um, not on so one, obviously the conversation is Nick Chubb scoring the touchdown. Typically coaches in this situation would say just run the clock out. Now, let's be honest. In a realist mind, you wouldn't expect a team to within like a minute or two to score a touchdown and then get an onside kick and then get another touchdown to take the lead. So if you ask me, it's more on the coaches for not stressing this. Like Joe Flacco pretty much threw a freaking just chuck it up fade. Guy was pretty much right there for the picking. Receiver catches
Yeah,
it, walking for a touchdown. That's on the defensive coordinator for not pretty much saying, hey, keep everything in front of you. Nothing gets past you deep.
yeah.
As a DB's coach and as me who played the position, especially in those game situations, you want to keep everything in front of you. Don't
The
have
clock.
nothing get beat deep.
That's right. Clock is the enemy. Instead of playing like, let's just say, a three deep shell and move it back and let him work underneath, it looked like to me he played a one deep shell man coverage.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand that for the life of me. Now, on the other hand, I'm really happy for Coach Saleh because I think if he would have lost this game, yeah, it would have been a lot of people in New York calling for his head. They're gonna probably call for his head anyway. But when you don't have your starting quarterback, due to injury, I mean, it was a freak injury. It wasn't anything like you know, but you know, but with all the things that's been going on with the Jets, yeah, it's really good to see Coach Saleh get him a W.
Yeah. I don't really think he should be judged because he doesn't have a winning team, but it's just a
You know,
process. It's
it's not like that in New York, and
yeah,
it's not like New York.
yeah,
They could be the bad news bears, and New York gonna be like, well, you know what? It's the coach's fault. It's got to be a fall guy. It won't be the owner. It won't be the GM. It's always gonna be the coach.
yeah. Credit to the Jets. They freaking came back, won a game. Garrett Wilson absolutely tore up that game. He was great that game.
Man, there's nothing I can say about it. But again, I mean, if they would have played a three deep shell, then maybe Garrett wouldn't have done. Well, I mean, he was still good even before all of the last few minutes of the football game. But I mean, again, the Jets did what they were supposed to do to get a W. When the Browns basically just said, "Hey, we can just play whatever the hell we want. They can't come back."
Yeah. So, if I'm looking at everything in terms of standings wise, Browns are 1-1. They should be 2-0.
They
But
should-
that's on them.
And
Uh,
I think both picked the Browns, right?
we both picked the Browns. We thought the game was going to be a blowout, but yeah,
Well,
that's
I mean, it should have been.
credit to the Jets for not backing down again. Any
Yep.
given Sunday, a team can win.
Yep. Amen.
All right. So going off wise, I'm 0-2. My uncle is 1-1. Next game is the Washington Detroit game. Washington just got blown out. They just got blown out. Now they tried to make it interesting as best they could, but when the Washington Commanders would get a touchdown to be within one score, Detroit goes right down the field and pretty much scores right back at them. And pretty much that was kind of the moral of the game. Carson Wentz, he didn't play a really good game at all. Lions on offense, they seem to be humming. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's turned out to be looking like a very, good, really good receiver, in the making right then and there. So
Yeah.
he's doing good. Aiden Hutchinson on defense, he's been absolutely killing it. I might have to start agreeing with my Uncle Darrell about the Detroit Lions because they look
Play.
like they're building something really good down there.
Detroit can play. I mean, all of the thud and bluster that Coach Campbell has been throwing around. I mean, it's looking like he is really having an effect on this ball club to the point. Whereas, yeah, these guys are coming up and they're showing up, and they have for the last couple Sundays. I mean, putting up a 30 piece in both weeks. So you gotta start looking at Detroit as a serious contender in the NFC Central or NFC North.
Yeah. So I took Washington. My uncle took Detroit. Right now, I'm sitting at 0-3. He's sitting at 2-1. He more honestly looking at this, he's winning this week. He's winning this week.
You haven't read them all off yet, so let's
We'll see. We'll see.
unless you just want to just go ahead and concede the week, we move on to week 3. We can.
Going on to the next game. I watched this game from beginning to end. This was a good game. Tampa Bay versus New Orleans, and Tampa Bay. For what this would be an upset for Tampa Bay because they have not beaten freaking New Orleans in the regular season. The only time they've been in New Orleans was that one playoff game back when Brady first got to
Well,
Tampa
with
Bay.
Tom Brady though, we're
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
Tom.
yeah.
Tom
That's what
Brady.
I'm saying. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, 0-4 in the regular season, and the one victory he had was a playoff. But I think Tom read the newspapers a lot this week because Tampa Bay came up really psyched up and ready to play.
Yeah. Now this was strictly a defensive game. It was like pretty much 3-0 for the longest part of this game.
Yeah.
So you have to give credit to that Buccaneers defense for pretty much holding the Saints and making Jameis Winston look pretty much pedestrian. Now, I don't know if Jameis Winston's back injury had something to do with it. He has like fractures in his back. Maybe that could be a reason, but that defense for the Buccaneers, they pretty much shut out the Saints. It was just when is the offense going to get started? And pretty much the Saints defense was keeping the offense in check. Not only they were missing Chris Godwin, they also Julio Jones didn't play that game, which is not surprising because he's always hurt.
He's always
And then all of a sudden, Mike Evans, he ends up getting tossed because, well, I think now it's confirmed that Marshawn Lattimore and him got like increased beef. So he pushes down. It starts a whole altercation. Mike Evans, and Marcus Lattimore, they both get ejected from the game. And also Mike Evans, he's going to be suspended for one game, so he's not going to be playing this week against the Packers. So it's going to be interesting what the Buccaneers do. They did sign Cole Beasley, but you could see, Tom Brady was doing everything he could. You could see on the freaking sideline, he's getting pissed off, throwing iPads, cussing out his teammates. I was like, he's getting pissed. You want to stay out of his way.
yeah.
But for some reason, it's like when Marshawn Lattimore went away, he was ejected from the game. The Buccaneers offense moved the ball down the field and they got that first touchdown. And then the smooth sailing. Jameis Winston throws an interception, pick six, practically game over. And Tampa Bay, they pretty much win a very tough battle in New Orleans.
Yeah, they did. And it all started once Lattimore got ejected. The big thing with that was from where I sat is that the Bucs lost nobody on defense in that trade.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost an offensive player. The Bucks did, and the Saints lost a defensive player. Just gave Tom Brady a little bit more momentum and ammunition. Just go ahead and shred that defense apart, which in turn he did. The Bucks defense never lost the beat, and the Bucks offense got them a little bit of momentum. So that defense is nice.
Yeah.
The Bucks defense is nice, and I think it'll probably wind up carrying the team for the entire year, but we'll see.
Yeah, their offense, well, if Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, and Mike Evans there, I think that offense is very potent. But
Correct.
it's clearly sputtering. If
Right.
like there's only one, because really, who else other than they got no more Gronk.
Well, see, right now, if you look at next week, all three of them may not even play.
Yeah,
I mean, Evans is suspended. Who knows what's going to happen with Godwin and Jones with their injuries? I mean, Jones. I mean, my goodness gracious, the wind blowing the wrong way. This dude talking about he can't make it. So I
yeah.
there's no telling what's going to happen with the Bucks wide receiver room next week. But again, they got Tom Brady, and sometimes that's enough.
Another thing about the Buccaneers on the defense side of the ball, Akeem Hicks, he got, I think, plantar fasciitis, so he's out for a while. As a Bears fan, not shocking because he's kind of made of glass. I like
Yeah,
Akeem Hicks. I like Akeem
yeah,
Hicks. He's just very injury prone.
yeah. He was always that one cat that and granted, defensive tackle. He, it's a rough position. You're in the trenches. I get it, but he was dinged up an awful lot.
Yeah. So you do have to question why the Bucks didn't just re-sign Sue. They could go that direction, but maybe the
But
bridge already burned. I don't know.
is he fine?
No, he's a free agent right now.
Well, they can go back and go get him.
Yeah. Moving on to the next game. The Panthers versus the New York Giants. Oh, forgot. I'm 0-4 right now because we both took New Orleans, so my uncle is 2-2.
Right. Yep.
So Panthers versus New York Jets. It was kind of a back and forth game, but again, the Jets they prevail late in the game. Or not the Jets,
In
the
the Giants.
Giants. The
Yeah.
Giants prevail late in the game. And they managed to hold Baker Mayfield down and everything. I didn't really check this game out, so I don't really know the ins and outs. It's just the Giants doing good. So good to Brian Dable for pretty much having his team 2-0.
I just know I picked the Giants and you didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I picked the Giants.
Who did?
Yeah, I did.
I know. I remember.
So I'm 1-4, and
I thought you was on that Baker Mayfield
no, I'm not.
bandwagon.
I'm not like Skip Bayless, bro.
Oh, okay, my bad. All right. All right. Okay, good.
Yeah, so I'm 1-4, and my uncle is 3-2.
3
Next
and 2.
game, I did watch this game. The New England Patriots versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this game early on, it was kind of a Pittsburgh leading on, but playing very conservative with the fact that, shocker to nobody as a Bears fan, Mitch Trubisky, he doesn't really threaten you with his arm. So you already got Steeler fans up in arms calling for Kenny Pickett.
Oh, it was boring. It was, I mean, I got it, man. I really thought I was going to see one of them back and forth barn burner type games, but no, man, this was boring from the start. I mean, Trubisky was pedestrian. I mean, Matt Jones was pedestrian.
Other than that, I guess fade to Nelson Aguilar, which pretty much won them the game.
That was it. I mean, so it was just a pedestrian, game for both teams. It wasn't, with the great coaches that you have in Belichick and Tomlin, you would have thought you would have saw something a little bit more innovative, I should say. But no, it was just boring from the start. But I think you picked the Patriots, though.
I picked the Patriots. You picked Pittsburgh.
Right.
So I'm 2-4. You're 3-3.
Okay. We're getting close, but I don't know now. We're getting close. You're creeping up on me.
Yeah, yeah. The thing about this game that obviously everybody's talking about, mostly on the Pittsburgh side of things. Again, New England, they have to work out their offensive issues with whatever they got going on there. So yeah. Hey, their defense played much better this week, but at the same time, you can like it to the attribute of just the sputtering offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers because they didn't really threaten the ball down the field. Mitch was always checking it down. I don't know why he was doing that. Now, maybe it had something to do with their offensive line not being good. But he was always checking it down. Like there was this one play, he checked it down to Najee Harris, and it's on like third down. I'm like, dude, you got to get it past the sticks. And I'm like, what am I talking about? When he was on the Bears, he'd always check it down. I still remember the one play in the playoff game against the Saints. He was running out. He could have picked up the first down, but he goes out of bounds.
Yeah.
So obviously Pittsburgh Steelers fans are already sick and tired of the pitch play of Mitch Trubisky. All right, in my Clippers group chat, he's a Steelers fan. I was saying, hey, listen, Mitch Trubisky ain't gonna get you nowhere. He's just an average to below average quarterback who's, if anything, is a backup quarterback, career backup quarterback at best. He's not gonna win you games. You're gonna win.
Pittsburgh Steelers, and we can go ahead and move on to the next game. At best for the Pittsburgh Steelers, he's a stopgap until Kenny Pickett learns how to play football.
Yeah. Either it's not gonna be tonight.
No, it won't be.
Kenny Pickett will either be starting week 4 or week 5.
Right. It may not be this week. It may be a little bit after week 4, week 5, maybe 7 or 8. But it just depends on what their win-loss record is at that particular opponent. But yeah, this job will be Kenny Pickett. It's just a matter of time, especially the way Trubisky's playing. He's not playing like he's trying to keep a job. He's playing like he's a placeholder.
Yep. So unless Trubisky has some crazy revival where he goes crazy, then Kenny Pickett's job is right then and there. Unless they go to Mason, unless
he goes to the OC and said, "Dude, look at this wide receiver room. Open it up.
Yeah,
let's go open it up.
Unless the
Steelers let's go 4 wide, one back. The back obviously is going to be Harris, and I can dink and dunk if I want to with this group, dude. Man, come on now.
Yeah, unless they're like, yeah, we'll keep you on the bench, Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, get in there.
Yeah, man, it just
we'll see how this whole thing develops.
Want to play?
Yeah. So next game. The Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. We both took the Jacksonville Jaguars on this one. And surprise to nobody, I was not shocked the Jaguars won in Jacksonville. I was shocked at the way they won convincingly. They pretty much held the Colts to 0 points. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I thought Trevor Lawrence, he was really good. Jacksonville's offense was pretty much humming. And, Christian Kirk, for all the people who were criticizing, Christian Kirk, about the deal he got, he's been stepping it up. He's honestly been showing he's earned that money.
Oh, and for me, the Jaguars came in this game, stopped Jonathan Taylor, make him one-dimensional. Yeah, we don't have a problem with Matt Ryan throwing the ball around 40 times, let him. And that's exactly what happened. They stopped Taylor from running. I think he still got around 70 yards though, but they kept him off. They kept him at bay.
Yep.
And the Colts defense couldn't reciprocate on the other side. And plus, they beat I think Jacksonville in their last game beat the brakes off the Colts too.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So the thing is with the Colts is they're 0-2 right now, and we predicted that we thought they were going to be the division leaders or one of the division winners. We said, and we'll talk about the Titans as well, but we thought those two teams in the AFC South would be competing for the first place in division. They're 0-2.
In my defense, I did, and I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm really interested. I'm liking the Jacksonville Jaguars. Doug Peterson's presence with that quarterback, that's gonna be keep a really good eye on the Jacksonville Jaguars this year.
Yep. So if the Colts continue to on this losing streak, well, then you're gonna have to start questioning Frank Reich's job because this upcoming week they play the Chiefs. So I expect them to be 0-3.
That's correct. And it was him who wanted Matt Ryan.
Yep. And knowing Jim Irsay, he was the guy who wanted Carson Wentz out of town. He's not seeing his team get any better. He's going to start looking at maybe not only Frank Reich, he might start looking at Chris Ballard, and he's going to be like, dude, what's going on here? You're not putting my team in position to win.
Yeah. Won't happen during the season, but after the season, if they're not successful, both of them could be gone.
Yep. So we both took the Jacksonville Jaguars. So right now I'm 3-4. My uncle's 4-3. Next game, probably game of the week for me. Game of the week for me. Miami Dolphins versus Baltimore Ravens.
I think that was a game of the week for everybody. Roll Tide.
This game was absolutely crazy. If I told you
Roll Tide.
ahead of time of this game that the Baltimore Ravens would be up on the Miami Dolphins, like I think believe like 20, it was 20, I think 24-10 or something like no 24-7.
Yep.
And the Miami Dolphins found a way to come all the way back in the game and win it.
Yep.
You probably wouldn't believe me.
Nope.
And somehow the Miami Dolphins absolutely did.
The Baltimore Ray, I don't understand. I think what really happened was that early on, and I saw the game too. There was a lot of jet screens with Jalen Waddle, and he was highly successful with those jet screens. All to come to find out that once Baltimore adjusted to try to take the jet screens away, that's when they started going with the long passing game to Tyreek Hill. It was just it was like it was a cause and effect. You're gonna take away one wide receiver with the Dinkin and the Duncan in order to keep the long range guy from going anywhere. So when you take that away, we're just gonna go to the other guy deep, and that's exactly what Miami did, man. It was Baltimore couldn't stop it. They
Yeah.
couldn't stop it. I mean, now another thing I think what happened specifically with Baltimore, and one of the reasons why offensively late in the game they couldn't move the ball. Devin Duvernay, he had a concussion.
Mm-hmm.
So Bateman was really knocking them out, but at the same time, though, it was because they were doing so many things to limit Duvernay. So when he left the game, it was just Bateman. So for the most part, they can take away Bateman and they can man up on Andrews, and that's exactly what happened. And Baltimore couldn't move the ball, giving the ball back to Miami. And Miami's like, cool, let's just go quick. Here you go, Tyreek. Here you go, Jalen. And it was just, I mean, man, it was a snowball effect. Once they got one, they couldn't stop it. They got another one. It was a great game, great comeback. You know, um, I think you went with Miami and I went with Baltimore.
No, we both took the Ravens.
We both took the Ravens. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, we had no confidence in Miami, but moving forward, well, you know what? Next week, I can't wait till we pick because they're playing Buffalo.
That's gonna be very interesting. Gonna be very interesting, and that's the thing now. This speed with Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, it's showing that this can be a legit problem. And like I said, Tua has a good game, and he's giving these guys the balls in space.
Yep.
Miami Dolphins are going to be a problem, and they can actually contend for maybe winning the AFC East.
Right.
So
That's correct. Now, granted, I'm pretty sure Buffalo's really happy that they got some film that they can probably go over, but I don't care what the film tells you. It's gonna be it's a cause and effect. You take away one, the effect is gonna be we're just gonna go to the other one.
yeah, so it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Mike Gesicki also had a touchdown in the game too. Again,
Exactly. A
yeah.
guy that they just wanted to turn into a blocker, and they were talking about trading. They had no trade partners and nothing like. They found room to get him a touchdown.
Yep, they got weapons over there. They got weapons.
He's got some serious weapons.
Yep. So it's gonna be the, and then also again credit to the Miami Dolphins defense keeping them in the game, not having the Ravens score any more touchdowns.
Yep.
Epic loss by the Ravens. Hey, you just got to come back next week and play a better game.
Well, just like I did say before, when Duvernay went down with that concussion, I mean, that really limited their offense to the point whereas, all we got to do is just make sure we take Bateman and Andrews out of the passing attack.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, moving on.
Yep.
The Atlanta Falcons versus the LA Rams. Now, we thought this game be a blowout, but this game was actually a lot closer than it should have been.
Yeah,
if
we
you
still
ask me, the Rams did not win this game in a convincing fashion. One, Matthew Stafford, he threw 3 picks. So he's still doing his Detroit Lions stuff. But pretty much, the Rams just kept the Falcons in the game. Again, credit the Falcons for fighting. the Falcons had a chance to potentially take the lead late in the game because surprisingly, they did a peanut punch on Cooper Kupp of all people. He fumbles the ball, and they're pretty much in good position to go try for a touchdown. They're moving the ball, but it's fourth down. Obviously, you have to chuck it up for the end zone because what else you got to do? And Jalen Ramsey goes over top of this one receiver that had good position who could have caught the touchdown. Jalen Ramsey just had better positioning. He intercepted a Rams escape. So that's 2 weeks in a row that the Rams have not won in a convincing fashion. You think this is the game to get them back on track to win in a convincing fashion? They did not look convincing. If you're about to lose to the Atlanta Falcons, that's not good.
No, it's not good. But what I'll say, and I'm going to say this about the Bengals as well, too. This is what happens when you are the hunted instead of the hunter. This is exactly what happens. Rams won the Super Bowl. I mean, the sheer of invincibility is off of you because now people see you. And now that people see you, they're going to come after you. And you're going to take everybody's best every week. And only the really good teams can handle that and still try to, win a championship or defend their championship. That's what the Bengals and the Rams are going to get all year. And as you can see, that so far they haven't proven they can handle it.
Yeah. Yep. So, we both took the Rams. So right now I'm sitting at 4-5. My Uncle Darrell's 5-4.
Yep.
Going to the next game, Seattle versus San Francisco. 49ers handled their business. They blew out Seattle. But at the loss of Trey Lance, because in the first drive, Trey Lance does the quarterback draw, and he ends up getting tackled, ankle pretty much fractured, broken. It's the same thing like Dak Prescott last year. It was all twisted in a way. Sucks he's out for the season. I definitely didn't want to see the 49ers from the aspect of see how Trey Lance does, but we'll have to wait another season. Jimmy G came in, and he looked relatively good. He was smiling the entire damn game, so I think he's happy that he got his starting gig job back, which I think was the happiest thing Kyle Shanahan could have probably wanted right now.
Honestly, they rushed that kid to that position. Yep. They shouldn't have. They should have just went on and sat him. I mean, I don't know if Shanahan even wanted Lance in the position or not, but
no, he wanted Mac Jones. He wanted to draft Mac Jones. It was John Lynch that said, no, let's take Trey Lance.
Lance wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. So I hate that the kid got hurt, but he got hurt because he wasn't ready, in my opinion. So Jimmy G came in. Garoppolo did what Garoppolo does, He wins. How it looks, that's up for the person that's watching. But they won.
Yep. We both took for the 49ers. I'm 5-5. My uncle is 6-4. Cincinnati Bengals versus Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys pull off the upset with the backup quarterback, Cooper Rush.
Told you.
And
Super Bowl champ. Don't matter how much you hate the team that they're playing. It don't matter who they are. They could have been the worst team in the league. The minute you step on the field with them and you are the AFC champion or Super Bowl champion or whatever, you are going to get that very best that team has to offer. And yes, it just so happens that this week is probably the most despised team. Well, I shouldn't say team. Yeah, despised team outside of Dallas in the NFL. Cincinnati better wake up and they better grow up and they better do it quick because the way they're going, they're gonna miss the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think you can attribute that to the lack of the fact that their defense I think their defense is okay. It's all right. It's not the best, but that offense, man, the offense in terms of weapons is great.
Mm-hmm.
That offensive line, and man, again, I'm gonna say it before. I'm gonna say it again. I'm not saying the Bears' offensive line because we're Bears fans is the best, but they're making it out like the Bears has the worst offensive line ever. You're looking at Joe Burrow's offensive line. He's still getting sacked almost 7 times a game. So they invested all that money into the offensive line, and guess
Yep.
what? Joe Burrow's still getting sacked for like 7, 8, 9 times a game. It's not looking good.
Nope.
Micah
Again,
Parsons, Lawrence,
and
they
then
got after those
you
dudes.
got to do like Micah Parsons giving you his best. I mean, dude, if he plays pedestrian, he can still get 2 sacks. But if he playing his best and he giving it 100%, man, dude. And that's what Cincinnati has to deal with from week to week. And it ain't going to stop. It's
Yep.
going to happen next week and the week after that and the week after that. So they on the way to missing the playoffs.
Yep. I don't know what they got to do to improve that offensive line. Either the offensive line guys up front have to play better. Well, obviously they have to play better. But really honestly, it's not like there's all pro lineman options out there,
Oh,
So offensive line, it's just got to play better. It's got to play better.
yeah, you got
Otherwise,
to, as a coach, you have to appeal to their competitive nature.
yep.
Dude, man, come on. We got to be better. We're taking everybody's best this year. Whereas last year, we were the hunters. But this year, we're the hunted. It's a different mentality. And some players can deal with it and some players can't.
Yep. So because of that, we thought Cincinnati was going to win. Now Dallas, they just scored a few touchdowns and a field goal, and they really didn't do anything. It's just that Cincinnati offense didn't really score any points because our offensive line was letting them down.
Still going the right-hand column, though, brother.
Yep. So we both took Cincy. I'm 5-6. My uncle's 6-5. Houston Texans versus the Denver Broncos. Denver wins in a way, again, not convincing. I'm just gonna get out the way. Nathaniel Hackett, he's really starting to look like Matt Nagy 2.0. Because if you're a Bears fan,
I'll say that too.
you understand the thing. And right now, I understand it's still early for my Bears, but Luke Getsy, I'm almost about to call him Matt Nagy 3.0. But again, my Bears are a young offense and everything. But going on, I don't know what's going on in Denver. They're just not moving the ball. Russell Wilson does not look like Russell Wilson. I don't know what's going on. You have questionable timeout calls with Nathaniel Hackett. I think in the second half, he practically used all his timeouts in the second half, and it wasn't even the fourth quarter yet. This guy looks like he's ill prepared to coach, and I don't know what's going on. But if this continues, Denver definitely going to be fourth place in the division.
If you can't put your team in the best position to win, then you should not be in the position to be in position to put your team to win. And he looks like he is, and I'm speaking of Nathaniel Hackett, he looks like he is just out of his depth.
Yeah.
He does. Now, granted, he's a new coach. Maybe he'll learn, but he just looks out of his depth. I don't know if Russell Wilson is his quarterback. I don't know if he wanted Russell Wilson.
He probably wanted Aaron Rodgers. He thought Aaron Rodgers was coming.
Probably. That's true. He probably took the job thinking Rodgers was coming.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, as we get ready to, I'm pretty sure eventually we're going to talk about the Green Bay game. And I mean, Aaron, Rodgers, doesn't seem like he needs that much of an OC. Don't know, man. He looked out of his depth. I'll just say that. But didn't we both go with Denver?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. Again, another credit to the Houston Texans. They're a team that plays hard. Davis Mills has actually turned out to be a really solid quarterback.
Bears better watch out.
Yep.
Bears better watch out, man.
Yep. So because of this, since we both took Denver, I'm 6-6. My uncle is 7-5. Arizona, Las Vegas. Another crazy game. We both took Las Vegas.
We tied, aren't we?
Huh?
We should be tied now.
No, we both took Las Vegas.
Really? I thought you took Arizona.
I thought
we both took Vegas. Okay.
All right. Las Vegas was up by 2 scores, and then Kyler Murray just had his magic. He got down the field. Again, cut it to a 1-score game. Not Denver. Las Vegas goes 3-and-out. Arizona gets the ball back, and Kyler Murray, within like literally 0 seconds, they find a way to freaking tie the game up, head to overtime.
Yep.
Insanity.
Yep.
And then overtime hits. Las Vegas, they go 3-and-out. Well, no, my bad. What happened was they throw it to Hunter Renfrow, and the dude I think fumbled it one time, but they recover it back. Then they go back to Hunter Renfrow again. He fumbles this time. Arizona picks it up, and they go down the field. Kyler Murray throws pretty much the game-winning touchdown. Game. Credit to the Cardinals for finding a way to win a game.
Well, I mean, credit the Cardinals for taking advantage of the. I don't want to say, because the word rings wrong when you talk about the Raiders, but credit the Cardinals for the Raiders' stupidity.
I think on that fumble by Hunter Renfrow, I think the thing is he was put in a position where there's nothing really he could do, and they just punched the ball out.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
All he had to do was fall down.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true.
Fall down.
So,
but
Yep. The Raiders had a chance to win, but
Raiders had to win, and now they're 0-2.
Yep. So right now it's looking like Denver, with the way their offense is looking, and then the Raiders, well, unless the Raiders can turn it around, well then one of those teams are fighting for fourth place.
That division?
Yes.
And well, I mean, right now you got Broncos who are 1-1, Raiders 0-2, Chargers 1-1, Chiefs 2-0. So I mean, it's still early.
Yep.
But with the way the Raiders are losing football games, I mean,
they got to get a win next week.
They got to get one.
So,
they got to get.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Yep. We're running low on time for our Zoom call, so we'll be back real quick. It'll be a quick cut. See you guys soon. All right, guys, back with our NFL recap of week 2. The Sunday night game was the Green Bay Packers versus the Chicago Bears, our Chicago Bears. The Green Bay Packers ended up winning in a fairly, well, I would say somewhat convincing fashion. They let the Bears stay in the game a little bit too long, but I think of a questionable spot, it looks like Justin Fields was actually in the end zone because they run a quarterback draw up the middle. Justin Fields, clearly there's circles where his arm passes the goal line with the ball in hand, but refs don't call it. Practically after that point, it was game over. But the thing is, the Packers defense had their way with the Chicago Bears. They just couldn't stop the Bears run. But they definitely shut down the pass. Some of it was due to Justin Fields holding the ball too long. And when you go back and watch the All-22 film, it's definitely that case, and then not processing information. Because there were breaks in that Green Bay defense. But other than that, Green Bay on offense, they looked fine. They clearly were gashing the Bears through the run game, which gave them an advantage. And then also Aaron Rodgers just picked on the rookie Kyler Gordon. If you want a more in-depth look about our thoughts of the game, go check out our Bears Week 2 recap, where we go more in depth with how we thought the game turned out. But that's just my little skimming of the game, what I thought. So Green Bay gets back on track. So good for them, I guess.
Yeah, good for them. I mean, we both picked Green Bay to win this game. We just had a funny feeling that the ghost of Matt Nagy, which always showed up during Green Bay, showed up this game as well too. For whatever reason, Luke Getsy got out of running the football. I don't know what goes on. I just have no idea what goes on in the NFL locker room, to the point whereas you're going to sit up here and have a great a great drive by running the ball, and then you just totally go away from it. And that's what Getsy did. Then when you realize the running game works, he got back into it. And I got to admit, he was masterful. Those drives in the fourth quarter was just really good calls. Green Bay Packer defense was worn down. And then that goal line play in which you didn't put Justin Fields over center, pretty much was the straw that broke Camel's back. But yeah, we did discuss it in depth on our week 2 Bears video. So, but and if you do want to watch, yeah, go ahead and take a look at it because there's some really good stuff. Our thoughts were on that particular game.
Yep, I'll leave it on the outro of the video, so you'll see it, click on it, and it'll take you there. You want our
Yep.
in-depth thoughts as a Bears fan's perspective.
Yep.
The Monday night games. Again, I don't know why there was typically with week 1 there would be 2 Monday night games, but this week I guess there was the 2 ones. I guess they wanted to make the focus. I guess they wanted to make the focus of last week the whole Russell Wilson versus the Seattle Seahawks returning to Seattle. Will Russell Wilson get his revenge? Yada yada yada. But now listen, I was coaching practice, and then when I checked on ESPN the scores, it was honestly probably a good thing I didn't watch because both games were absolute blowouts.
Yeah.
So Tennessee and Buffalo, absolute domination by the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah. I can't see anything that Tennessee does this year that will make them a playoff team. I mean, there's nothing I can see that what they're doing that'll make them a playoff team. Derrick Henry looks old. He does. He just looks like he looks like he's taken a lot of miles on that body.
Yeah.
So, and Buffalo's Buffalo.
Yeah.
Best team in the NFL from what I've seen over these past 2 games. And maybe Miami can slow them down. Maybe the Chiefs can give them a game, but
yeah, that Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs connection. It's like right now it's probably the best in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So we both chose Buffalo, obviously in convincing fashion. Yeah, I kind of look for Tennessee side of the thing. In my opinion, I feel bad for Mike Vrabel. I really hope he doesn't lose his job over this. I just feel like it's the front office's fault for not giving him the right quarterback. Well, they potentially could have the right quarterback in Malik Willis. They just don't have enough weapons on offense.
No.
All they got is like Treylon.
With their style of play,
yeah,
they can't seem to keep really good solid wideouts.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we'll see. I don't want to see Coach Vrabel lose his gig either, but it doesn't seem like the Tennessee front office is really eager to add too much to this roster. I mean, they lost A.J. Brown.
They traded him away.
Yeah, that's right. They traded him away. Didn't get really much in return. They re-signed Tannehill last year to a 4-year deal, which had a lot of people's head scratching, which, I mean, heck, Aaron Rodgers was available.
Yeah.
Based reports.
Russell Wilson was available.
I mean, so it's just like, you decided to keep Tannehill in lieu of the other really good quarterbacks who are better that were available. So Tennessee is to me, this Tennessee's chickens coming home to roost.
Yep.
So I can't see them making the playoffs. I can honestly see that they're going to be last place in that division because Houston is definitely playing a heck of a lot better.
Okay. That's an interesting prediction there.
Yeah, Houston is playing a heck of a lot better. And right now, Tennessee, I think they got another 0-2 team next weekend in the Ravens. Not the Ravens, the Raiders. Mm-hmm. So, it could be 0-3 for Tennessee.
Yep. Minnesota versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, the Eagles just blew out the Minnesota Vikings. They shut down that offense, one, because Kirk Cousins looks, again, atrocious on Monday Night Football. But they shut down Kevin O'Connell's Minnesota Vikings offense. I don't know what Justin Jefferson had. I'm not looking at the stats right now, but the one takeaway I saw from this game is that the fact that the Eagles offense, with the little highlights I saw, it's just really good now. Just Jalen Hurts, He's looking like he's coming to his own. He understands the NFL game now, which is what I'm hoping for Justin Fields to do, which I'm guessing. You're on mute.
You can hear,
Oh,
I'm not.
go
I'm
ahead.
not on mute. I'm not. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was about to say. Jalen Hurts has weapons now.
Yep.
He's got weapons. I mean, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. He got weapons. He's got a tight end. He's got running backs. He's got a solid offensive line. Philadelphia is going to win that division.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm looking at the stats, and I'm just like, well, I don't think Justin Jefferson did much of anything.
Wow.
Because I think they decided to take him away.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yep. So, good for Philadelphia. They look like they're going to be a problem. Minnesota obviously they have to regroup. They play. I don't. We'll do the predictions, but I know they play Detroit. But in terms of week 2, solid week. Had some really good games. Some games were like, well, all right, nothing really too fancy. But if you want to keep the score, right now I finished this week 8-8 in my predictions. My uncle won the week at 10-6. So right now we're both tied at 1-1.
1-1.
So that's the thing.
That feels really good to recover from that, So, now that we got a good sense of what the teams look like and what they can and can't do, the predictions for week 3 should be pretty interesting.
Yep. And I'm pulling up ESPN. So we got the so we're now doing our week 3 predictions. We'll kind of skim through them, maybe talk a little bit in depth, but ultimately we want to get through these so we can call it a video. But first game tonight, I'm gonna get this video up as fast as I can. It's gonna be the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns tonight on Thursday Night Football. It's gonna be in now. The thing is, I don't have to watch this game because I'm gonna be at my high school varsity game, which I think there will be more offense than this game potentially could have. Listen, I don't know who I'm going to choose, but listen, the fact that one, Pittsburgh is still out TJ Watt. Their defense still did look solid. Mika Fitzpatrick had another interception this past week. But that Steelers offense with Mitch Trubisky at the helm, if he continues to not threaten the ball the ball and throw the ball down the field, well, then I find a really hard way for Pittsburgh to win this game. And in all honesty, the Browns should have won this past week against the Jets. If their defensive coordinator put them in the best position, they just played pretty much a prevent defense, they would have won that game. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Browns on this one. Plus, they're the home.
Are they in Pittsburgh or Cleveland?
Cleveland's the home team.
Oh yeah, I'm going with the Browns, man. I'm gonna go with the Browns. Browns at least put up 30 points.
Yeah.
The Pittsburgh offense, Pittsburgh defense scored a touchdown week 1. And the offense pretty much played so pathetic that they allowed that, that game wound up going into overtime. I'm going to go Cleveland because at least Cleveland has shown they can put points on the board.
Yep. All right. So. Okay. All right. Next game: Houston versus the Chicago Bears. Now I think the Bears should win this game. They're at home, but the problem is the Texans have been playing very good as of late. And they play teams really tough. Lovie Smith is coming back to Chicago. So obviously that's a thing for him that he wants to get a win in Chicago. I'm just gonna go with the Bears. If the offense is looking good, I think the defense will be fine. Now, the only issue I have with the defense is that run defense. They got to stay in their gaps. If Roquan Smith is getting freaking blocked and pushed back almost 10 yards, I'm gonna be freaking done with this guy. Defense line has to step up their play. They got to stop Dameon Pierce, who's been a really good running back for the Texans. And they got to force, even though he's looked impressive, they got to force Davis Mills to be a passer, and hopefully they make Davis Mills make some mistakes there. So yeah, offensively for the Bears, the offense just needs to improve. The run game is working. The run game's working. Justin Fields definitely has to play a much better game um, than he did last week. So yeah, on my front of the Texans, I honestly say just run the hell out of the ball and then do play action because we saw in that Green Bay Packers game, Bears defenders were biting on that play action so heavily it got receivers for wide open and got behind the defense of the Bears. So if they have a successful running game and the Bears fail to stop it, well, then the Texans, they're in good position to do play action and do whatever they want. With Pep Hamilton leading that offense, I think they can honestly do that. Defensively, they just got to play hard football, force Justin
Yeah,
Fields to make hard decisions and stop that run. I'm going to go with the Bears winning a close game at home.
I'll agree with you and go with the Bears as well too. I think with the criticisms that the coach staff faced against Green Bay, coming back to some of the home cooking, and as well as that offensive line played in the latter part of the third quarter and all of the fourth quarter, I think you can kind of see that the Bears' identity is to run the football. So, and Montgomery did have a really great game against the Texans last time they played. So I would like to see them continue that. And yeah, get the ball on the ground, get Justin comfortable in the pass based on play action, and try to get him on the move as well too. So yeah, I like the Bears in a close game as well.
Yep. Next game, the Las Vegas Raiders at the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, it's at the Titans.
You want to give your prediction first?
Ooh, I mean, I like the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Raiders. I just have no faith in that Tennessee offense. I'm gonna go Raiders. They do have much more weapons, and if Tennessee can't run the ball, I have no faith in it. They're going to be able to move the ball in the air. So I'll go with the Raiders simply because they're more balanced offensively.
Okay. You're going with the Raiders. You know, I'm gonna go with the home team. I'm gonna go with the home team. I think.
I don't blame you, especially when you got two 0-2 teams. The momentum usually is with that home team, but I just don't like the Tennessee offense, man. It wouldn't shock though. It wouldn't shock me though if Tennessee wins this game in a slobber knocker.
Yeah, I think Derrick Henry will get back on track because really, I don't think the freaking Raiders offense has any good run defenders to stop Derrick Henry.
I don't believe so either. So they're going to just have to, get up in the box with a lot of numbers and try to force Tennessee to move the ball down the field via the pass. But Tennessee has always been really good at force feeding the run, especially when they got a healthy Derrick Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So if healthy, I can look for them to try to get a W by getting on that man's back. So
yeah.
I get it.
I think Mike Vrabel will inspire these guys to go out there and get a W.
Correct.
In the game.
And for me, Mike Vrabel is the better coach.
Yeah. So yeah, two Belichick disciples.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Next game is the Kansas City Chiefs at the Colts. Yeah, I'm going Chiefs for this one. There's nothing to be said here. The Colts have not looked impressive. They tied with the Houston Texans, and they got blown out by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, the Chiefs should have easy pickings with these guys. Simple enough.
Do I need to say anything? So you're gonna put me? Yeah, I'm gonna put me down for the Chiefs too.
I'll put you down for the Chiefs.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
All right, a game that I'm gonna be watching, other than the Bears, Bills versus Dolphins.
Bills Dolphins. Now, first of all, before we start anything, where is the game?
Miami.
In Miami. I am going for. Oh, you know what? I don't want to sip that tea too early though. I don't want to. I am so tempted. I'm so tempted to sip that tea and just say Miami because of what they did last week. But Buffalo, man, Buffalo saw it too. And Buffalo has a week's worth of film to be able to counter what Miami did against Baltimore. I'm gonna go Buffalo. I gotta go Buffalo. I think Buffalo is gonna be able to counter what Miami did last week and be able to take out one of those wide receivers and force them to do something with the other one.
Yeah,
So
I have to agree. I think right now Buffalo's playing at a very high level offensively, um,
correct.
and defensively right now. So, hey, I'm just gonna ride with the momentum.
Yeah, I got to admit, I haven't seen anything in about Buffalo that says, you know, Miami gonna get them. Only thing I saw was Miami had just one really good week, and it was a great game. It was, but I would like to see that over a couple of games before I can say that they can beat Buffalo.
Yeah. All right, all right, all right. Next game is the another good game. Detroit Lions versus Minnesota Vikings. For me, I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go with the upset. Detroit has looked very convincingly. Now, the only thing is, this will be the first time on the road, and we'll see how they do on the road as opposed to being at home. But Detroit has shown me a lot. Um, if they can force turnovers against Kirk Cousins, I'm not saying they can freaking stop Justin Jefferson, but they can keep him in check, at least like Philadelphia did. Um, they can win this game. Um, mind you, Jared Goff has to do the same thing, not make mistakes. But I'm gonna go with the Lions somehow squeaking by.
I'm the same way. I gotta admit, I haven't seen anything that tells me the Lions are gonna tail off. They're going into Minnesota. It's an indoor stadium. Detroit plays historically in an indoor stadium. So, and plus, I've been on that Detroit bandwagon from the start of this football season, and I really like them. I really do like Detroit. So I'm gonna go with Detroit as well too, so that they can. This will be their coming out party in the NFC North, I believe.
Yep. Next game. The Ravens versus the New England Patriots. Um, I still remember the game when Tom Brady was still on the Patriots, and that was that game against him and Lamar Jackson. That was a good game on
That
Sunday Night
was
Football. Um, I'm gonna go with the Ravens just from the aspect is that I think the offense will play much better. Now I do think the New England defense will get its stops here and there, but that offense, I just feel like it should be good enough for the Ravens to consistently stop on a consistent basis, because really that wide receiver room has no weapons there, other than I guess Devontae Parker, but he hasn't looked really impressive for the Patriots. But I'm gonna go with Ravens on a rebound. I think they're gonna play angry for what happened last week, to Miami in a game that they should have won. So yeah, I'm going from there. Now the Patriots are the home team in this game.
with the Ravens play their style of play travels.
Yeah.
So I honestly think they're going to be beating themselves up for an opportunity lost against the Miami Dolphins. I don't think they consider it as a game loss. They'll consider it as an opportunity loss because, in a sense, they're the ones that let them come back. It wasn't anything that I thought that Miami took. So yeah, I think it was just one of them things. Whereas it was just they got lax, just like the Browns did. They got relaxed and just didn't realize that there's a lot of potency on that Miami offense. So yeah, I think they're going to be a little ticked off coming into New England, and yeah, they should win that game because they're on the road. I'm not going to say blowout. If we were in Baltimore, I was just going to say they were just going to wax them. But considering they're on the road, yeah, I can see it being a little bit closer than people might imagine. Maybe a field goal, anywhere between a field goal and to a touchdown victory for the Ravens.
Yep. Okay. Uh, the Cincinnati Bengals at the New York Jets. I'm gonna take another upset. I'm going Jets. They showed me a lot. They keep playing hard. They play hard. I think they can upset them. If they can get to Justin, if they can get, I said Justin, they can get to Joe Burrow and they get him for 5, maybe more sacks. I think they can win this game.
Something's got to give. Something's got to give. And at some point, Cincinnati got to just get their tails together and just start playing some really good football. I'm going to say this is the week. I'm going to go against you. I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I if they don't win this week, they in trouble.
Yeah, they'll be
I think as the Jets got a W under their belt, they can probably be a little bit more relaxed because they're under the home cooking. Cincinnati can come up in there with a little bit of momentum, be a little bit ticked off, and take one from the Jets. So I'm gonna go with Cincinnati.
Yep. Okay. Next game, Eagles versus Commanders. So this is Carson Wentz revenge game against the Eagles, but I'm not going Washington. I'm going Philadelphia.
But there ain't no way I'm gonna sit up and say I'm gonna pick the Commanders because Carson Wentz wants revenge. No, Eagles all the way.
Yeah, Eagles should have easy pickings. Even though they're the away team, it should be a fairly easy game for them to win.
The Commanders will play hard because they're at home. But when it's all said and done, the Eagles should beat them probably by 10 points.
Yeah. All right. The next game, the next game, last of the morning games. The New Orleans Saints at the Carolina Panthers. I'm going Saints. I think they'll have a rebound game. I think they'll score more than the points that they scored in the last game, and their offense won't look nearly as anemic.
I go with the Saints too. There's nothing appealing about the Carolina Panthers. In fact, I honestly think Baker will be benched by week 7.
Damn.
I'm
already being benched?
I'm not a Baker fan. I'm really not. I haven't seen anything other than that fourth quarter of game 1. So in 8 quarters, I haven't seen anything that tells me that Baker is a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Okay. Start of the late afternoon games. The Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, this is an interesting standpoint. Now, I'm going to go with the Chargers, not only because my boy on my coaching staff is going to the game, but I just think the Chargers have a lot more on defense and a lot more on offense than the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, based on how Justin Herbert plays, I don't know if he's playing this week. I don't know if he's playing this week.
That's crucial though. That's crucial though.
Yeah.
So I
think even if Chase Daniel starts, they should win. I'm not saying
no. I'm open.
I'm going with the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers regardless.
Justin plays, Chargers win. Justin does not play, Jacksonville wins.
Really? Against that defense?
For me, Jacksonville is a little bit better than what people are giving them credit for.
Oh, I know.
That to me, they're a playoff team right now. The only reason I'm saying that they would have an advantage over Jacksonville is if they're starting quarterback. They are not going to beat them with the backup. Not going to beat them with the backup. So I'll put it to you like this. I'm going to just say that the Chargers will win, but only if Justin Herbert plays.
So you're going Jacksonville.
Is Justin Herbert playing?
Right now he's day to day, so I would envision.
Or should we just wait and find out? Because if they're gonna do that whole IR, that the way that Belichick likes to fiddle faddle with the injury report,
he's day to day. Justin Herbert's day to day right now.
Is he considered questionable?
I would envision he's considered questionable.
Okay, all right. And what's his injury again?
That rib injury.
I'll go Chargers. I'll go Chargers.
Okay.
But and I'm not gonna fiddle faddle, but I'll go Chargers. But I will tell you, they ain't beating the Jacksonville Jaguars with a backup quarterback.
Okay. I think they can. We'll see. We'll see.
You talking like a homer.
Maybe I am. I don't know. Chicago Bears legend Chase Daniels. He won us a few games.
Yeah, okay. I don't remember any of them.
Okay, the next game. The Los Angeles Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals.
Uh,
God damn it, man.
who is the
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals since they're the home team.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Cardinals because they're the home team too. Both of them are not playing really good football. At least, and they both won this past week, but they won ugly.
Yeah, but I think Arizona showed me a lot more because they came back
That's correct.
as compared to the Rams that they were up the entire game and they had a little scare where they were about to lose. But
Correct. And the Cardinals, uh, Connor is day to day, but they're saying he's going to play on that ankle. So, yeah, I'm gonna go Cardinals. I'm gonna go Cardinals.
okie dokie. Next game, the Atlanta Falcons versus the Seattle Seahawks. I was
Ugh.
teetering back and forth between maybe going Atlanta because they play hard too, but I'm just gonna go with the home team. Seattle's a hard place to play. I think Seattle rebounds from the way they played against the 49ers. I'm going Seattle here.
Falcons do play. Falcons do play hard. Um, I'm gonna go against the grain, and I think the Falcons are going in and get a W.
Okay.
The Falcons have shown. The Falcons have shown they can score 20 plus points.
Yeah.
Right. Seattle has not.
Yeah.
So I'll go with the Falcons. Most times, all it would take, if you expect a team to come up with a defensive stop, and this particular game, I'll go with the Falcons defense over the Seattle Seahawks defense, especially without Jamal Adams.
Yeah. Next game, last of the afternoon games, the Green Bay Packers versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The way Tampa Bay's defense is playing, that convinces me enough. I know offensively it's going to be shaky for Tampa Bay based on who doesn't play either Chris Godwin or Julio Jones, but I think I don't know. Maybe Brady will be like, "You better freaking play this game because I need you." I'm going Tampa Bay one because I hate Green Bay, and I just think Tampa Bay is just a better defensive team than Green Bay is.
I'll go with Tampa Bay as well too. I do like the Tampa Bay Bucks defense. More importantly, with the way Green Bay could not stop the Chicago Bears from running the football, I don't fathom any scenario where Brady decides to do the same thing. Green Bay will be able to stop that either. So with the fact that they're probably going to be down 2 to 3 wide receivers, I expect Green Bay to be hit with the running game by the Tampa Bay Bucks offense. So I'll go with Tampa Bay.
Yep. The Sunday night game this week is the San Francisco 49ers versus the Broncos. I'm going San Francisco because I feel like their offense is a lot better. And right now, the Broncos look very shaky on offense, and they not only struggle to be a Seattle Seahawks team that we think is bad, but they also struggled at home to a Houston Texans team.
Yeah, I like San Francisco here too. Now that Jimmy Garoppolo is in his place as the starter, um, San Francisco is now they're not a one-dimensional football team with Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo can move the ball via the pass as well as set up certain plays that they can run the ball. Yeah, and plus the Broncos. I mean, again, they haven't scored 20 points in a game yet. So
Yep.
offense is horrible.
Yeah.
Against that Niners defense, no.
Yeah.
49ers may walk away with a 2-touchdown victory in this game.
Yeah. Monday night game this week. The Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants. I'm going with the Giants because they've shown me a lot. I think their offense, even though it's not too impressive, I feel like it can still get them a W, especially if they run behind Saquon Barkley. And then I think the defense has been playing really fairly good for them. Again, I think the Dallas Cowboys won the game against the Cincinnati Bengals last week because of their defense. Their offense really didn't do anything behind Cooper Rush. And again, that running game was kind of stale as well because Ezekiel Elliott is not what he used to be. So I'm going the New York Giants.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the Giants as well. Team is another team that I've really liked for the first couple games. Saquon Barkley is actually running. I think the way I put it in our week one summarization, when he's running angry again. So I really do like the Giants. Dabo has got Daniel Jones to the point where he's not making mistakes. He's controlling the game. And he's allowing the defense to be able to give him opportunities so he can even control the game even further. So, yeah, I do like the Giants offense more so than the Dallas offense, but that Dallas defense, man, my goodness gracious, Micah Parsons,
yeah,
man, they got to figure out a way to keep him out of the offensive backfield. If they can do that, yes, the Giants should win this game, which I think they will.
Yeah. Other than that, that was our week 2 recap and our week 3 predictions. We'll be back next week to give our week 3 recap as well as our week 4 predictions. Also, if you want more in-depth analysis of our Chicago Bears in terms of what we think of how they do with the Texans, get our thoughts on Sunday after that video comes out. Stuff like that. But other than that, this has been the video. So if you guys like the video, leave a like in the comment section, your thoughts on your predictions and stuff like that, as well as hit the subscribe button. If you want to get more NFL content, again, NBA content will be coming soon. Maybe I might do a video about this Ime Adoka situation going on, but what the hell, man? Getting crazy out here. But anyways, guys, hit that subscribe button if you want to get more sport content on the channel. But other than that, guys, catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
All right.